With MOBOTIX activity sensor, you can notice that along the bottom, the line tells you that there's not motion right now until someone walks in above. You can see them there, and you see the activity direction sensor telling you which way as well. But as soon as they step out, you notice that even with the trees blowing, with the water on the lenses on the ground, the motion detection is not being activated. That's the MxActivity Sensor. It senses objects, not just motion. So motion detection with typical security cameras that just looks for changes in pixels, and as you can tell with this, just a few changes in pixels would have set it off dozens of times already. But notice here the car drives down, the directional arrows tell you which direction, and the activity bar at the bottom tells you how busy it was at that moment. So that definitely would have triggered alarms right there. So that's how that works at an entry point at a parking lot. Let's go to another demo in a classroom and see how it applies to that situation. In this classroom demo, we're using a hemispheric lens on the ceiling to look at the entire classroom. You can tell at the bottom that the activity sensor is not being triggered by the people in the classroom until someone walks in from the right side. Then you can see the directional go off. It tells you he's coming in, moving left, then moving up. It's going to sit down, and you'll notice at the bottom the bar will go from red to green back to inactive. It doesn't consider these slight movements in the classroom to be significant. It's only when someone enters or leaves. And you can set the threshold for this. You can make it more sensitive, but usually people like to be able to know when something significant is going on. And MxActivity allows you to do that with the object detection here. The purpose of this video is to show how when the flags are blowing in the wind, it's actually not setting off the activity sensor. Only when the woman moves to her car, backs up, leaves the parking lot will you see any activity, and the directional sensor in the top left indicate what's going on. But with normal motion detection, where it just looks for changes in pixels, you can pretty much guarantee those flags would be setting the system off. So you don't have to mask that. You can set these cameras to only look for motion from objects. It'll ignore small changes like flags and bushes and things like that blowing in the wind. You can see here in this comparison of MxActivity Sensor on the left and traditional video motion on the right that the number of events in a 24-hour period differs greatly. The MxActivity Sensor captured 138 events of object movement, whereas the video motion on the right captured 8,181 events and used up 9,341 megabytes of storage compared to 157 with MOBOTIX. So that goes to show you you're saving storage space, you're saving bandwidth on your system, you're saving the time it takes to go through all of those events. It's really just a better option for, outdoor areas like this. You can ignore blowing wind. You can see on the right-hand side in those leaves, every time one of those boxes pops up, that's the system recognizing an event of motion, and that's clearly not useful. So MxActivity Sensor gets rid of that and gives you what you need.